Morning, church. Welcome to Psalm 6 of the Psalm series that we've been doing together. Psalm 6 is really interesting. It has a really rich and extravagant picture of what we first see as pain and crying out to God to be delivered. But we also see that in the end of Psalm 6 here, that there is a hope and that there is a realization of who God is and a realization of our stories as Christians, that we are living in salvation and that we are also moving towards salvation as well in heaven with Jesus. So let's begin. The first part of the psalm, we can see that the psalmist is crying out to God to be delivered to what he describes as agony and anguish. And he asks the question, "How long, Lord? How long?" And I think that's quite relevant today. I know that really strikes a chord with me, thinking how long until we can all get back to normal and until these restrictions on our lives and on our freedom of living is moved and we can get back to the way that we were before. We see that as the psalm moves on, we see that the psalmist is praying to God, and we also see through this prayer a realization of who God is because of the language that is used. And I think that's really important to pick up today. It says, "Turn, Lord, deliver me." We know that God is the God that delivers us. He's the one that steps in and he's the one that changes our situation and changes us from the inside out. "Save me because of your unfailing love." We know that God has unfailing love, and we know that he sent Jesus to save and deliver us and provide the ultimate salvation from any trouble and any tribulation. Moving on from the Psalms, we can see that there is a rich and extravagant, like I said before, picture of pain and sorrow. "My eyes grow weak with sorrow, they fail because of my foes." And, we might feel like the psalmist sometimes in this situation, but I think it's important to realise that it's a really powerful thing to pray out to God, but also to realise that the God we're praying and the God that we're crying out to is one that delivers us and is one that is unfailing in his love. Towards the end of the psalm, we see that David writes, "Away from me, all you who do evil, for the Lord has heard my weeping. The Lord has heard my cry for mercy. The Lord accepts my prayer. All my enemies will be overwhelmed with shame and anguish. They will turn back and suddenly be put to shame." And that is what I want to focus on today. We know that there is a lot of pain going on at the moment in the world, but we also know that God is the one that delivers us and he is the one that brings us through. And thank you to Jesus for the amazing love that he showed us on the cross. And thanks to the Holy Spirit, who is our comforter. And obviously, thank you to God, who is our protector and our creator. We can move through this and we can move to a place of hope, such as the psalmist does at the end of this psalm. I hope that really encourages you this week and that you get a chance to reread the psalm and see what are you picking up from it and what are you connecting with. And I pray and I hope that you have an excellent week. Bye.